The Alamo, a short distance away from the Alamo Dome here in San Antonio, and a little fire in the pregame speech for the Bruins, the 9 seed taking on Illinois, the 3 seed. Let's check out our impact performers tonight. Rachel Kidder from UCLA hitting .462 in the semis the other night.
She has been unstoppable in this tournament for UCLA. Surprised other teams haven't focused more on her, but I would expect Illinois thinks that we've got to slow her down if we're going to have a chance.
And for Illinois, Colleen Ward, she had a 20-20 in the semis. 27 kills, 22 digs.
And she took what the defense gave her. That's what she's so good at. They both hit on what we call the left side of the court. The setter gets to set them a lot. Whether it's a good set or a bad set, they have to make good things happen.
There is Ward and Kidder getting set to battle for the national championship. Colleen out of Naperville, Illinois, the senior, Kidder the junior from Moore Park, California. We will play best 3 of 5 sets. It's scoring on every serve. You have to win by 2. The 5th set, if we make it there, is to 15 points. And the libero wears a different colored jersey. They aren't allowed to attack. They are, in essence, a defensive specialist and usually outstanding on serve, receive, and passing responsibilities. Well, there is the libero Beltran. She'll make the set to Ward off of the block, and Illinois gets the first point. For the Fighting Illini, a couple of trips to the semis back in the late 80s, but this their first appearance in a championship match. And for UCLA, it's been a while, 20 years since their last title.
And amazingly, they were in 7 of the first 14 title games, 50% of the time. Then they went 0 for 16 till this year.
Kidder crushes that one for the point, and we're even at 1 apiece. Michael Sealy in his 2nd season at 40 years of age, the National Coach of the Year this season, getting UCLA to the finals. He has an incredible coaching tree, played for the legendary Al Skates at UCLA. He has served under Andy Banikowski and Dave Shoji, 2 of the biggest names in the women's game. Point Illinois, and his counterpart tonight is his friend and former teammate when they were both young professionals back in the mid-90s. In his 3rd season, it's 38-year-old Kevin Hambly. One of these 2 cards will become the 2nd youngest to ever win the national championship.
And the camaraderie amongst the younger group is amazing. Probably couldn't have envisioned 30 years ago that they'd be hanging out last night and having a few minutes to relax and congratulate each other, sharing a beer and getting ready for a title game, but very friendly, and that's the best kind of rivalry.
Kidder a bit long on the swing. Point Illinois and a 3-1 edge. Colleen Ward back to serve. She spent her first 2 years at Florida, transferred, came back home, was the regional most outstanding player last weekend, and had a well of a night on the Thursday night in the semis. We have the ace for Colleen Ward, who served nails in the 5th and deciding set in the semis.
And she talked about their 20-0 start, getting up all the way, rising to #1 in the rankings, but they weren't playing all that well. And once they lost, they learned. They had a whole bunch of team meetings, including one called by the players themselves that Hambly loved the idea of. And since then, their focus has been much better, and they're off to a great start here tonight against the Bruins.
Kidder gets stuffed at the net.
This is exactly what Hambly wanted. He wanted that huge block by number 14 there, Liz McMahon, against the great outside hitter for UCLA, Rachel Kidder. So far, they've been able to shut her down. Wants that matchup a lot.
McMahon at 6'6", the freshman out of Liberty Township, Ohio. A tough matchup for USC the other night, and wants to be just as menacing this evening. Here she is up to block Kidder again, and that time Kidder went away from her and over the smaller blocker.
Both her swings in that rally, smart. She went away from the really tall end blocker, off the middle blocker's hands. She's going to have to do a lot of adjusting, and probably, as long as McMahon's up there, a lot more cross-court hitting.
That time she attacked the 6'3" Anna Dorn. The back set to McMahon, off the hands of Tabby Love. Van Orden tried to dump it over deep. Beltran kept it alive. Free ball, Bruins. Van Orden dumps again. The 5'11" senior from Aurora, Colorado. Interesting, Karch, both of the setters in this match started somewhere else. They weren't heavily recruited, and after a couple of seasons, both decided, we want a bigger challenge. We want to play for a national championship, and here they are doing just that.
I'm glad they knew they were going to the title already. I'm sure these coaches would have liked to know, too.
Her counterpart, Annie Lurson, on the other side, also spent her first 2 seasons elsewhere before transferring in.
Yep, a lot of transfers seem to be playing a bigger and bigger role in women's college volleyball.
Here's a look at Lurson back home, the junior from Wheaton, Illinois. One of 12 Illinois natives on the roster, a lot of homegrown talent, 4 of them in the starting lineup as the freshman Zoe Nightingale gets the kill for UCLA.
And UCLA is going to need that very kind of production. That's what we didn't see from USC's middles the other night and made it a much more difficult task to beat Illinois, but they need the middles to attack a little behind the setter just to spread out the defense.
The pass from Reeves, Van Orden, she'll go to Tabby Love, who gets the kill off the block. The 6'5" junior from Canada. Her first year at UCLA since transferring from Minnesota. She's playing in her second college championships.
2 critical transfers on each side of the net.
Michelle Barch with a kill for Illinois. We've talked a lot about Ward, but you've also got to mention Barch. She also had a 20-20 in the semis. 20 kills, 20 digs.
And she switched positions, actually. She was playing right side, has switched to the outside, and has surprised a lot of people with her ability to control the ball at her height.
Service error from Rachel Feldman. This is Lauren Van Orden in her second season with UCLA.
That's the kind of ball control that Barch has been exhibiting all year long, controlling opponents' serves.
Not the best of sets there for Reeves, and a chance for Illinois. Bumped back out to Barch.
That's...
Van Orden did a little better with that one, and Reeves able to put it away.
That was awfully close, but that's what we call a chisel, when you just use the block to tool it out of bounds, and Reeves loves that shot. She's going to have to be careful, though, because Barch a lot taller than her. She keeps trying that too often, going to the well. She could get blocked a few.
Sliding behind is Erin Johnson. That was so effective in the semifinals, and UCLA grabs the 8-7 lead.
Their blocking has been very effective so far. Tabby Love doing a nice job there. Number 3 of stepping into the middle and helping get 4 hands in front of the hitter out of the back row.
Bruins with their first lead of the match. Lurson looking to Barch. Bumped up by Love. Barch gets another swing at it and gets the kill to even it up at 8.
Barch also doing a nice job, not only the ball control, but working it around. We saw her hit a super sharp angle off Tabby Love. Then she mixes it up and hits down the line. Good hitters have to be able to hit many different spots on the court.
Sets the middle, and Aquino with the kill. Point UCLA. Let's address what a lot of folks here in San Antonio are talking about, the quicker tempo that UCLA likes to play at and how that can work to their advantage.
Well, they have to beat their opponents, especially Illinois, with speed. They're shorter, but they can use that to their advantage by being quicker. Obviously, Illinois has got a ton of height and really physical players like Barch right there, who crushes the ball out of the backcourt. UCLA is going to have to make up for it with fast tempo and better defense. Watch Barch right there through the hands or over the hands of Kidder and threading the needle for a point. Illinois tying it up 9-all.
3 kills already for Barch, a converted basketball player. Backdoor block from UCLA, point Illinois.
Yeah, she played a lot of basketball, and one of the things that sold her on Illinois was that Coach Hambly encouraged her, not discouraged like a lot of volleyball coaches, encouraged her to play other sports, her other favorite sport, basketball. And what really struck her was how he came out to a number of her basketball games to watch. And he was sold when she stole a ball from the point guard and took it all the way down for a layup. That's when he knew he had something. But and I agree with him, he likes athletes who compete in more than one sport, use different muscle movements, motor patterns, helps prevent injury.
Service error for Illinois. Point UCLA. Kevin Hambley, his first appearance in the finals after a couple of Sweet 16s in the last few years. He's also served with the U.S. men's national team before he came to women's national team, excuse me, before he arrived at Illinois. Ward, cross court, got it.
Boy, did she get it. We saw that against USC. We've seen that all year long. If somebody takes the line on her, she can rip it cross court. She hits with the best range of any of these outside hitters on the court tonight. We saw her hitting line time after time 2 days ago in the semifinals when UCLA gave her that.
Kidder into the 6'6" McMahon and sent right back at her. Good block from UCLA. Barch out of the back. Kidder off the tips of McMahon. Ward's gonna give it a go. Nightingale sends it back. Popped up by Eleni Guerra. The tip denied.
We got one of those rallies.
Match point when the semis went over a minute, and that one falls, as did match point the other night, opposite of Illinois.
Both middle blockers gashed again. They're the ones who have to do all the jumping every time the other team attacks, jumping every time on their team's offensive patterns.
Usually Karch would be impressed with a rally that lasted 43 seconds, but we've got one that we're going to show you later in the set that went 63 seconds.
That's like ho-hum, only 43, that's the best you could do.
Already being dubbed the greatest match point in the history of the tournament.
That's a mistake by Illinois to leave Rachel Kidder one-on-one. Even if it is McMahon at the net blocking, you've got to get 4 hands against her.
Kelly Reeves, the sophomore out of San Diego, whose mom was an assistant coach 20 years ago when UCLA won the championship. She was pregnant with Kelly at the time, and now her daughter out there in the starting lineup. There she is. A nice pass to set up. Kidder goes cross court, got it by the block.
And now Kidder showing even better range than Ward had. We saw her hit line for a point the previous play. Now on her 4th kill, hitting very sharp cross court. There's Kelly's mom, Jeannie, in the middle. Next to her, closer to us, there, dad, Mike. And Jeannie playing for UCLA, then coaching, and then bringing her daughter in the program.
She was an 82 All-American. The year before that, she was on the losing side of the national championship match, the very first NCAA tournament against Southern California.
And the other night, she was still lamenting that. You know, Bruins hate to lose. Like, I know we could have won that. We let that one slip away. Those are the ones you remember the most when you win a lot, are those losses.
She said, Kelly telling us the other day, she's learned so much from her mother, who was her former club coach up to the age of 18, and she headed off to Westwood. Here's Lurson, the back set to the 6'6" McMahon, right at the libero. Reeves with the tip out of the back and the kill.
Well, that is a smart shot by Reeves. She sees the blocker helping out, so there is space to the left there. And when you get the ball down in front of the opposing libero, you know you've done a good and deceptive job in attack.
4 unanswered points on the Reeves serve. Ward will try and end it, and does. Point Illinois. 3 kills for Colleen Ward, who is back to serve. Ward tried to jump it over. Now outside to Kidder. McMahon slows it down. Barch rejected. Nightingale and Van Orden, the setter over there. Timeout on the floor. UCLA with the 1-point advantage over Illinois here along the banks of the San Antonio Riverwalk to the national championship. UCLA with the slight edge over Illinois in this first set. Best 3 of 5 for the national championship. And UCLA very loose, very relaxed. Arriving earlier here at the Alamo Dome. A little dance fever in the locker room pre-game. And then they brought it out with them onto the floor as well, and even the coaching staff getting in on the act. Dance fever.
That's the one they practiced all season long, and the coaching staff promised they would participate if they made the national semifinals. So they did it on Wednesday, but Seeley did not join in. Thursday, Friday even, but finally today they got him for the first time in public all season.
A chance to become the first coach on the women's side that has won a championship as an NCAA title as a player and a coach. Winning with the UCLA men in '93. And now trying to guide his alma mater to the title on the women's side, and a kill for love. They've been very good all year, Karch, in opening sets. In their 35 matches, they've only dropped set 1 5 times.
They are a good, some teams are traditionally slow starting. UCLA just the opposite, and they need that and more against a very strong Big Ten Illini squad.
This is a 6-1 run going on right now for UCLA. Make it 7-1. And a timeout, Illinois. You know, we were wondering if there was going to be any kind of hangover or any kind of momentum coming in from match point for Illinois in the semis. Made the top 10 in SportsCenter, but they even had to go with the edited version. It was too long to show.
Only here.
Great job by our crew out in the truck to put that together for you. To count all the times it crossed the net, and somebody got a touch on it. That was Thursday night. Now for the national championship, UCLA in blue, Illinois in the orange, and our first best 3 of 5 sets, point Illinois.
What a nice bump set. That's using your forearms to put that ball up in a very hittable position for Tabby Love. The bump set, of course, made by the setter, Lauren Van Orden, and it's hit just out of bounds. But boy, I like what she did on that touch.
Beltran serves. Guerra with the pass. I'll go to Love. Blocked by McMahon and Johnson. Same way, same result. They'll try it a third time off speed from Love. Chance for Illinois. Lurson looking out to Birch. Miscue on the UCLA side, point Illinois.
Now you can see the block of Illinois starting to concentrate on the outside hitting of Tabby Love, and eventually they neutralize her. They get themselves a swing for Michelle Barch, number 6, who notches the kill.
Tough pass by Guerra, and a strong serve from Beltran. Point Illinois with the ace.
It's uncharacteristic of UCLA these last 2 plays, noted for their ball control, and that's one of the things that has gotten them to the title match, is the ability to keep the ball in good plays. Here they get the nice touch they want, and Kidder hitting against no block.
Double contact called on Ward after Beltran made a heck of a defensive play, but they did not get the block up on Kidder coming out of the back.
Illinois was cheating over toward Tabby Love, so that is a good choice by setter Lauren Van Orden to set behind her away from the Illinois block.
Wilson goes to Johnson with the quick, missed it wide. UCLA, oh, check that, they didn't get a touch. Tied at 18.
Johnson had a huge night the other night. She was a big part of breaking down that strong USC defense in the semifinal.
12 kills, 7 blocks. She hit .455. If you're hitting at 300 or better, you've had a good night. Off the block and down, point Illini. They'll grab the lead back.
And again, we can see a huge block up in front of her, especially In that case, it's a mistake for Love to hit at the middle blocker when she has a smaller end blocker in number 11, the setter, Annie Lurson for Illinois. Got to take advantage of that mismatch. Let's see if she hits more line here. That was going out of bounds.
Birch got it down. Illinois 5 points away from the opening set, and UCLA wants a timeout. 6 of the last 7 points for Illinois.
But in that case, he said, hey, we're just happy to be here. We were on the chopping block once we got to the semifinals. Now we've actually got a shot to win, which he is thrilled about.
There's a block up front. Aquino sending it back on Birch.
You want to get your hands across the net, and both of them go that time by Aquino. Reaching into opponent's airspace, cuts down the angles of the hitters.
Johnson sliding behind, no touch. Point UCLA, so out of the timeout, they score a couple in a row. Set is to 25, got to win by 2.
The blocker, if you're Illinois, that you want to go at is Kelly Reeves. She's the shortest one, playing in front of Barch. Let's see if Barch hits line toward her. She tries to.
Now Tabby Love, she does not have to deal with the 6'6" Erin McMahon blocking up front. She's on the sideline right now. Quick to Aquino, nice get by Beltran. UCLA in transition. Back set to Reeves with only one blocker up. There's that quickness and that speed.
She loves that fast set. Some people call it a red, but what you want to do is set it so fast that the middle blocker can't get there. Space is open. That time Reeves took advantage of the gap between end and middle blocker.
9 ties, 5 lead changes already in this set. As Birch tools it for the point, even at 21. 6 kills for Birch here in the opening set. Kidder has 4 to lead UCLA.
Illinois sure playing like they have been here before, even though 30 straight years, Illinois never making the final. Coach Hambly finally getting them there on that 31st try.
Long way for Larson to run at it, and that allowed the UCLA block to time it on Colleen Ward.
UCLA's block having much greater success so far than USC's in the semifinals in terms of slowing down these 2 great outside hitters, Colleen Ward and Michelle Barch for Illinois.
Love at 6'5", Aquino at 6'3", we're together on that one. Todorovic serving.
That's a nice play to take Colleen Ward out of the play by serving her short, and then confusion on the Bruins side. Kelly Reeves could have played that, made a slight move, and then pulled back. Right here, Reeves thinking, I'll play it, and then she doesn't.
You might have seen, too, right at the end of that play, Birch's right ankle got twisted up with a teammate. Limped ever so slightly. And a lot of room that time for Kidder. Let's go back to that Birch. Watch the foot there with her teammate coming by and turned it.
That's the reason she's wearing those ankle supports. The black that you see above her white socks. A lot of players like to wear those to keep the ankle from twisting too much. If they, what a pass there.
Whoa.
Wow.
What a play by Feldman. Teeing up Larson, the center, who doesn't usually swing.
That was a nasty serve coming over. But Feldman doing a terrific job of putting it on the money. She's still wondering, what did I do?
That's a former walk-on, folks. Kidder. Birch able to pick it up. Ward.
Nice up by Van Orden.
Back to Kidder. Birch is there. Good block by Nightingale. And it's UCLA that has the set point.
Double block, Kelly Reeves and Zoe Nightingale, point UCLA. Back to serve, Kelly Reeves.
Reeves serving. Set to McMahon. Chance for UCLA to end it. Kidder. Hopped up by Ward. Gonna go back to Kidder. Off of the 6'6" blocker and out. And the UCLA Bruins win the opening set. Kidder with 6 kills, including the one to finish it off.
UCLA with a slow start, normally known as a fast starting team, but boy, Kidder's speed, Reeves' speed, spreading the offense out, creating a lot of space, and then hitting down the line off the hands of McMahon for set number 1.
The All-American Kidder with the finishing touch, and their coach, Mike Seeley, he's won one as a player, now trying to get another one as a coach. UCLA, 3 NCAA titles. This would be their first, though, in 20 years. And for Illinois, they don't have a women's team title of any kind in their history. And what a night it could be for the volleyball team to break through with their first national championship. And to do it with all the homegrown talent that they have stacked up for Kevin Hambly. 12 on the roster, including 4 of their starters from the state of Illinois. And so many of these players from that vaunted Sports Performance Club in the Chicagoland area. A lot of pride from that bunch and anyone that's ever played for them that have starred in this tournament over the years.
Yeah, Illinois with a very well-developed club system, very well-developed high school system. Lots of players, lots of very good college players coming from that state.
A lot of pride, though, as you can attest to, Coach, on the West Coast. And it's been a long drought as the block scores again for UCLA. They're not accustomed to going 5 or 6 years without a championship, which is where they're at right now.
It is a long one, and bad choice there by Ward to go at the big, the stronger blocker, Zoe Nightingale, in the middle instead of the shorter blocker, Kelly Reeves, on the outside.
Last time a Pac-12 school won the championship was here in San Antonio in 2005. That was the Washington Huskies. Since then, Nebraska won 1 and Penn State won 4.
And the only other drought was in the 80s. UCLA won on the front side and ended the drought on the back side in 1990, winning in 90 and then finally in 91, the last title for the Bruins.
Ryan Ward misfires on the serve. Point UCLA. It's an Illinois team that in the last couple of years suffered some devastating injuries and ran out of gas late in the season. So Kevin Hambly and his staff got together with their training and strength and conditioning people and says, hey, we got to change things up if we're going to win a championship. So they trained, in their words, smarter, harder, and longer this season, and it's paid off.
To the point where his team's wondering a little about his concept of what time is when he says, yeah, we'll work out for about an hour, and then they go 2.5 hours and jump about 1,000 times when they weren't going to jump any, but it has really paid off. They've been strong down the stretch. The research told them that they wanted to lift harder. They're lifting through the whole season to elevate certain hormone levels to try to keep those ACL injuries down or at 0.
They've had 3 in the last 3 years. They were not affected by it this year. Kidder after the kill, back to serve. Quick to Johnson. Point Illinois.
And we see a little shift in the Illinois offense, going quick more since they weren't getting a ton of production on the left side from Ward and from Barch. Now setting the middle, that time Aaron Johnson, also trying to get the ball to Anna Dorn. We'll see how long that change in strategy lasts for Illinois. The fluffer to the corner. We call that the paintbrush shot because it's like putting that paint right down the wall. She hit the back of the ball. When you see it has backspin, you know it was not a good contact, but if you aim for the corner, good things will happen.
Found the right spot. Strong on the serve, Barch. Blocked. Aquino is having herself a night in the middle.
And I just do not understand the outsides for Illinois continuing to hit at the middle blocker instead of trying to go over or off the end blocker.
The 6'3" sophomore from Brazil has 4 blocks tonight. She got a piece of that one. Love terminates.
Give all the credit to Aquino on that play. That ball's going down unless she gets a little touch on it, keeps it alive.
We talked a lot about Kidder, but it's been a total team effort thus far for UCLA, and in fact, their middles doing the damage with the defense in a 7-3 lead. Mariana Aquino, part of the big story thus far in the 7-3 blocking advantage.
And she's been involved in 4 of them. The Illinois hitters, for some reason, feeling like they're going to get a better advantage hitting at her. That time, the ball hit at Van Orden, but she does a nice job of controlling it.
And the kill for UCLA, Colleen Ward and Michelle Barch, both hitting under 200 thus far in the match, the big swingers for Illinois. And right now, Barch, Ward have the same number of kills as Kidder and Love do. And if Kidder and Love can keep that close, that's good for UCLA.
Then they just have to look for a little production from some of their other outside hitters, but they have to consider it a victory to neutralize it in that sense, to get as many kills out of their outsides, with Ward and Barch being so strong throughout this NCAA tournament. That ball goes out of bounds. Barch just not looking the same as she was in the semifinal. Struggling a little receiving serve. You see her hitting under 200 there, and it goes, of course, Colleen Ward, who's been phenomenal in the playoffs, even lower.
Hard to tell if Barch has been affected by that twisted ankle from earlier in the match. Here she is out of the back. Van Orden pops it up. Kelly Reeves tries to tip it long. Beltran got it, and then it drops.
Smart play by Reeves there. She didn't have a swing on that because she was running so far inside. The ball was left in a place where she couldn't take a swing. So she just puts it deep. Again, the tip goes down.
Reeves, that terrific story. Born in the UCLA hospital. She's dreamed of this night her whole volleyball career. Has Kelly Reeves having a chance to play it out. Former high school player of the year in the state from Cathedral Catholic down in San Diego. Now Illinois serving. And the ace. Jackie Wolf, the junior from Wheaton, Illinois. That's what they bring her in to do. Three aces tonight for Illinois.
And there's a lot of space that Lainey Guerra is trying to cover as the libero. They're using just 2 passers. UCLA is to receive, serve, and control the offense.
Good stuff from Illinois. And Anna Dorn, the redshirt freshman from Munster, Indiana.
Now, Bojana Todorovic coming in to provide a little more passing for them. They're expecting her to be a part of the offense, and then it'll be her turn. Next time UCLA wins a point, she'll go back to serve.
Guerra with the pass to Van Orden. Todorovic going to get a swing. Feldman. Now Barch out of the back. Got it down. Point Illinois. So 3 points here on the serve of Jackie Wolf. And a 4-0 run. Timeout UCLA. Illinois trying to win the first title in program history. UCLA looking for its 4th. That would get them into the rarefied air. Only Stanford and Penn State would have more national championships at 6 and 5 respectively. And UCLA picks up the point.
Michelle Barch coming alive for Illinois with the kill earlier, and then coming up with a great dig when Bojana Todorovic crushed that ball down the middle. Now Todorovic at the service line.
Yeah, Barch seems to be getting back to normal after the ankle injury earlier. She's got 8 kills to lead the way for Illinois, has 7 digs as well. This is Colleen Ward, the All-American outside. And her counterpart, Rachel Kidder,
who is on the right side because she's trying to shore up the blocking of UCLA. So she normally would be hitting that very swing, but they don't have Kidder out there to take it.
Free ball Illinois. Back to Ward, the tip. Gonna come back out to Kidder. Beltran with the diving get. Ward again, long. but got a touch. Point Illinois.
And that's really where Kidder got her start. Early on at UCLA, she was brought in as a blocking substitute, playing on the right side, now playing on the left side. That ball well hit over the block of Aquino and Kidder.
The setter Lurson serving. Quick to Aquino. Point UCLA. Good read by Lauren Van Orden, the senior setter out of Aurora, Colorado.
And she sure has gotten a lot of setting advice. Most of it, all UCLA's coaches, setters when they played. And what she's really learned this year is just how to get her hitters in better rhythm, get them to get the most hittable ball that she can for them, and know when to set them, when to set the hot hitter.
She just started setting as a senior in high school, spent 2 years at San Diego State, sent a tape to Mike Seeley, and after one set, Seeley said, yeah, come on up, we can use you. And she replaced Lauren Cook, their All-American, who decided to transfer back home to Nebraska to play for her dad. And Van Orden became the solution when UCLA really didn't have anyone else to go to. And boy, has it paid off for them. Right shot of the back, Van Orden.
A little confusion there.
Oh, and Kidder still cleans it up for them.
Yeah, Todorovic didn't know whether she should play that ball or not. As it turns out, she made a nice last-minute touch, giving Kidder the opportunity to score.
14-9 UCLA as they continue to control play at the net. The blocking advantage is 7-4.
Went through a real dry spell after playing such a significant role throughout the 80s and early into the 90s.
Van Orden out to Kidder. We have the stuff for Illinois.
And that's a lot of hands across the net. It's a tough choice there between the 6'6". There's Liz McMahon, who blocks on the end on the right side, and number 5 in the middle.
This is the rotation where they've got to do some damage when they've got McMahon up there.
Yep, that's Anna Dorn. Same block
There she
again,
is again.
same result.
McMahon sends it back.
And this is the matchup that Coach Hambly wanted. That block against UCLA's #1 gun, Rachel Kidder.
Dorn right there next to her as a hand in 5 blocks tonight.
So UCLA's done a nice job slowing Ward down, and now Illinois doing a nice job slowing Rachel Kidder down. Both teams have to look for offensive production from
Plan B.
Plan B, C, or D.
5 service errors for Illinois. 4-point edge for UCLA. The float from Reeves. Back set to McMahon. Got the kill.
Kill by Liz McMahon. Point Illinois.
Our national championship match, the 9 seed UCLA, the 3 seed Illinois. Bruins looking for a 4th NCAA title. The Fighting Illini looking for their first. In another crazy tournament, 3 of the 4 seeds top seeds did not even make it to San Antonio. And of course, we will be crowning a new champion with the 4-time defending champs, Penn State, not making it back. Don't shed too many tears for them, though. They'll be one of the favorites to win it next year with Stanford.
And Illinois having a huge season, sweeping Penn State, the defending champion. That hadn't happened in over 20 years in Big Ten play, but it really wasn't that big of a deal to this Illinois group. They had it with getting to the Sweet 16 and not advancing. They just want to get that Big Ten season done and on into the tournament. And now UCLA returning the favor to McMahon with a big stuff between Love and Nightingale.
That's the 6'5" blocker denying the 6'6" attacker. Lurson quick to the middle, and Nightingale was there again.
Nightingale everywhere. One of the things I like about the way she blocks, especially when she gets to either sideline, is just how hard she jumps. She uses her arms, she uses her legs and jumps, and gets herself higher so she can reach over more.
Net violation, UCLA. Well, interesting to note, too, for both Nightingale and Aquino, at the beginning of the season, they weren't even the expected starters. They had a couple of senior middles, Katie Camp and Sarah Sage, who were both nicked up. And so the freshman Nightingale, the sophomore Aquino, worked into the rotation and have been so solid for them up front. And Orton tried to sneak one over, and we'll get the point. Bruins rolling here in the second.
It starts with good ball control for UCLA, and that time Kelly Reeves controlling the serve of Illinois perfectly, putting Van Orden in a spot where she can make that shot or set any of her hitters.
Illinois does not have a timeout, by the way, to end this, or at least try and slow it down. Van Orden again striking.
Same play, UCLA putting Van Orden close to the net. Barch has to be on that. She was late jumping, but that is her responsibility as a blocker.
Setting outside to Barch. Got it, point Illinois. Well, today's winning team will receive 60 points towards the Capital One Cup. One men's and one women's program will be crowned after the completion of the final spring championships. Capital One will award a combined $400,000 in scholarships in the Capital One Cup trophy to the winning schools at the ESPY Awards next July. For more info, log on to ESPN.com/Capital One Cup. Ward. Amy Guerra dug it up. That's that libero, the defensive specialist, wearing the different colored jersey. You don't want to hit it to them if at all possible.
Reeves very upset with herself. She read that perfectly and just missed what was a pretty easy play.
Can Barch get a run going for Illinois? That's the 6th service error of the match for the Illini.
It seems as though every time Illinois gets something going at the service line, 1 or 2 points, then they serve out. They're breaking their own streaks and breaking their own momentum. That's got to hurt when that happens over and over.
Johnson, the timing wasn't quite right. Tabby Love right at Beltran. And over on 2 is Lurson.
Well, we saw UCLA setter Van Orden get more offensive and throw a couple over, and now it's Lurson's turn. She, too, is smart to work that in and keep the block of UCLA off guard. Both these teams giving the opposing outside hitters lots of trouble with their block.
Good southpaw swing right there. 4 kills for the setter. A back set to Tabby Love through the block. Ward quick to counter. Point Illinois. 6 kills now for Colleen Ward. Had 27 in the semis and 22 digs, her 3rd 2020 match of the year. Kidder out of the back into the triple block. Point Illini.
Stop block, Colleen Ward. Anna Gore, Point Illini.
Illinois getting 3 blockers up, just what you want to do. If you're Rachel Kidder, you want to be able to see that and maybe tip it, hit it softly behind the block, because there's going to be an opening if 3 blockers are up in the air.
Ward to Todorovic with the tip. Kept up by Lurson. Ward. They were lethal down the line in the semis, and that time Ward went over the setter.
And that's the risk UCLA took, bringing Todorovic in. She's a much shorter player than Tabby Love, and Ward goes right over her.
Michael Seeley thinking that one of the Illinois players may have gotten into the antenna or into the net. He was looking at why the net was moving.
And the other thing he was saying, you saw his index finger making circles. He wants his team to rotate a little on defense and get his middle back over toward that shot that Colleen Ward ripped down the line.
Good run here for Illinois, and Colleen Ward, boy, that line was wide open.
We saw her doing that all night long against USC. Then Ward on the block, and then she terminates again. Returning 2 points for Illinois, this time right over the block and down the line. Ward coming alive.
An Illinois team that finally broke through their first win on Thursday against a West Coast team in their NCAA tournament history. They had been 0-9 against the West Coast and then knocked out USC in the semis. Their own little mini Pac-12 tournament they've got going on here. Two of the dominant forces along with the Big 12 Conference all year long. Got a good football game for you on Saturday, January 7th. It's the FCS College Football National Championship at 1 Eastern on ESPN2. For more information, log on to NCAA.com. Your home for all 89 NCAA championships.
Serving is Jackie Wolf.
4-0 run, or 6-1 over the last 7 points for Illinois.
There's a better serve out of the timeout, keeping the Illinois streak possible. They can score another.
Feldman making a nice defensive play to set up Ward. Jackie Wolf has done well on her serve tonight. As Kidder will check out. Goes to 25, win by 2. McKenna stuffed. Gonna bump it out to Reeves. Got it around the block, but outside, and Illinois tied it.
We saw Illinois steal one the other night, down 22-19 and scoring the rest of the points in set number 3 against USC. Here they are doing it again.
Couple of aces for Wolf. They've taken 9 of the last 10 points to grab the lead. Van Orden to Todorovic. Point Bruins. First kill for Boyan.
And now UCLA gets Kidder back into the front row. She's the one who has probably the best shot at turning a point if they can make a defensive play, but look for the ball to go to Ward. She's been much better offensively in her last 5 swings or so. Probably going to Ward. Nope.
Nope. Birch out of the back. Off the block. Point Illinois. 10 kills for Birch. Kidder slowed down by the block. McMahon over the top of it. Set point Illini. Service error, point UCLA. An 11-3 run for Illinois. They've got another opportunity here to take the set. Lurson to McMahon, and the freshman delivers. Illinois goes on a 12-3 run to close out the second set, and they even up the match at 1 set apiece. McMahon crushes one for game point, and Illinois ties it at 1-all. UCLA in the blue, they took the opening set. Illinois in the orange, they took the second set. So it's now best 2 of 3 to decide the championship. It would be a first for Illinois and a first in 20 years for a UCLA team that has 3 titles from the 80s and 90s. Rachel Kidder, the All-American outside, dug up by Beltran. And now the other All-American, Colleen Ward, gets the kill. She and Barch, that lethal combo, now have combined for 19 kills.
And early on, they were hitting toward UCLA's middles, but Ward has come alive, making better choices, hitting what is open, and that time she absolutely annihilated one down the line.
They had a rough 5-set match on Thursday night, did Illinois, as Kidder gets the kill, while UCLA was done in about an hour or so with a sweep of Florida State.
Correction, Mariana Aquino.
A big win against USC. 27 kills for Ward, 22 for Barch. Here is Barch. Dug up in the back to Rachel Kidder. Missed it wide.
It is wide.
Point Illinois.
That's the result of having a 6'6" blocker in front of you, just trying to be perfect with her shot. Instead of hitting a pretty good shot, she goes for one right in the corner, goes out by a few inches.
Liz McMahon was big in that second set. 5 kills, had a couple of blocks, including the kill at set point. As Reeves rocks the hardwood. Point UCLA.
Yeah, we saw her open the match with a shot like that. That's her favorite hit there, that hit down the line, even against the much taller blocker, Michelle Barch.
Lewis in the back set to McMahon, through the block for the kill. Point Illinois. Now she will rotate out, and Feldman comes out in the back row.
Yep, McMahon will play the front court of that position, and then Feldman in the back, and they shuttle. They each share half the time. And
with the pass.
Yeah, another errant pass. Not typical for Lainey Guerra, but UCLA having a ton of problems with the increased serving pressure. Remember all those errors by Illinois. Aggressive serving, getting a lot of opportunities.
That time Todorovic stepped in front of the Libero, and Nightingale tried to put it away. Lurson sliding to keep it alive. Van Orden had to pull that one out of the net. Lurson stuffed by Kidder. Williams in transition back to Kidder, who couldn't get any mustard on it. Point Illinois.
Watch Lurson pursuing right off the floor, keeping that play alive. Was interested to see how UCLA would react to letting the wheels fall off the bus, and clearly a little bit of blood as she slid off the playing surface and onto the carpet. Clearly UCLA has not recovered from that collapse in the second set.
Quick start for Illinois in the 5-2 lead. They will get the blood taken care of. Kevin Handlick, 38 years of age. He's a terrific story. It's never too late to go back to school. You know, he was a good player at BYU, but then went pro and overseas before he finished up his degree. And then he got into coaching with the national team after that, realized that that was his calling. And so the former head coach at Illinois, Don Harden, wanted to make Hambley his coach in waiting. And under one condition, he had to get his degree in order to coach the team. So Hambley, as an assistant coach at Illinois, started going back to school, and he got his degree, and then ultimately has taken over now in his 8th season at Illinois, his 3rd season as the head coach.
Got a lot of good experience as assistant coach of the USA team right through the Athens Olympics.
Also talked about what a humbling experience. You can see a little of the salt and pepper hair. He said, I'm 30 years old. I'm in class with a bunch of 19-year-olds, and they're all looking at me like, hey, what's the old dude doing here?
That was the first question. He said, all right, I know you want to ask it. Come on, somebody, just ask it. How old am I? Get it out of the way now.
Looked up his degree in sports management, and now his friend and counterpart, Michael Seeley, they actually played against each other a couple of times in college, played on the same team briefly as young professionals. They weren't exactly sure how to greet each other pregame. They ended up with a sort of half a handshake, half a man hug.
Well, Hemley was ready to hug it out, but Seeley pulled back a little bit. They didn't know if they were going to do the high five, the handshake, or the chest bump. The players, Bruins, wanted a chest bump. They didn't break it out.
Boy, Larson has been real aggressive at the net as we go back. There it is. Oh, I get wrapped him with the left hand. Yeah.
Mostly hug it out.
Little 1960s wrap the thumbs around. Michael Seeley in just his second season, a former player at UCLA and a former assistant on the men's side. Tabby Love thunders one. Point UCLA.
UCLA. Serving for the Bruins is Lauren Van Orden.
And with Kidder struggling a little, it will help UCLA to have number 3, Tabby Love, picking up the slack. That time, Illinois leaving her one-on-one. She gets the easy put away as they ignore Love, and then Illinois running its offense at Love and pulling her out of bounds. She doesn't turn her outside hand into the court.
Anna Dorn didn't play last year with a knee injury, has come back even stronger this year, according to the coaching staff. They showed her the honey badger video earlier this year. They think she's got a little bit of the honey badger in her. Just like the LSU defensive back, Sarah Matthew. Todorovich back to serve. Junior out of Irvine, California. Ward with the pass, she's calling for it, will get it back. Guerra pops it up. Now Kidder with a swing. Right at the other Libro. Beltran saves. And a fourth contact point, UCLA.
That was a heck of an up by Beltran. She took a shot right off the shoulder, but it stays alive. Dorn just pushed it a little too far out of bounds. Both these Libros putting on tremendous defensive efforts throughout this NCAA tournament.
Kidder, Beltran, another good pop-up. Free ball UCLA. Couldn't work with it. Beltran with another nice play.
Yeah, she kept it alive, and then Aquino finishes with a mistake. UCLA should not block if there's no attack from Illinois. The two Libros, of course, they wear different colored jerseys. It's not that the program doesn't have enough money to get them the same color uniform. And they only are allowed to play back row, give their team a lot of ball control so they can run the offense to perfection.
Beltran has a bit of a blindside story like the movie, and Michael Orr at Ole Miss. She was raised by a single mom in inner city Los Angeles. Used to go to work with her mother on occasion so she could watch her young daughter, and then her kindergarten teacher took her under his wing, introduced her to volleyball, and ultimately got her a scholarship at Marymount High School in Bel Air, California. And she started playing with USA volleyball teams. That's where she ran into Kevin Hambley, who ultimately recruited her to come play at Illinois.
And what a surprise it was. Just last January at there was a clinic held in Colorado Springs, and she was a part of it, and he flew in to surprise her. They had a special ceremony. It was really touching what her other family has meant to her in her development as a player and, more importantly, as a person.
32 digs in the semifinal win, and another big night tonight. Both the Libros have been making some plays. Kidder into the 6'6" block of McMahon. They'll go back to Kidder. Right at Beltran. Arch off the block, point Illinois. Momentum of set 2 is carrying over into the third.
It sure is. It was really important for UCLA to bounce back and get a good start. They did not, and that lead, that early deficit they fell, still holding now, and confusion in the backcourt for UCLA. That is supposed to be their strength. Controlling the ball off Illinois serve.
Back to Barch, stuffed. Good block from UCLA. Kidder couldn't put it away. Larson sets the middle. Kidder again slowed down by McMahon. Ward out of the back, no. McMahon stuffed by Kidder.
Double block, Rachel Kidder and Zoe Nightingale. Point UCLA.
What a strong pair of hands over the net that time by Rachel Kidder, the left side blocker for UCLA, and she's not got the height advantage in a rare case there with a 6'6" hitter across the net, but she made an excellent move.
Coach Michael Seeley calls her the franchise player, and she has been playing like it so far in the postseason. McMahon that time tried to go over Kidder and hit it long.
And so often you see hitters do that. They get stuffed, so then they try for something even better, or trying to hit the perfect shot just on the line. It goes out of bounds. So really credit Kidder for both those points.
Reeves serves it to Ward. Nightingale and Van Orden got a piece of that block. Now a chance for the Bruins. Looking to Kidder again. Ward turns setter to feed Barch. Out of the back, Reeves. And the stuff, Nightingale.
What a nice read by Nightingale. That defensive touch was so close to the net. Larson had only one choice, set the middle. Nightingale completely committing to stopping that, diving to her left. A very good read by the freshman middle.
She's gotten a piece of 8 blocks here tonight. Side by side with Kidder there, and UCLA has come back to tie it.
And just as we were talking about UCLA starting slow and not getting the momentum back, here they come with the block from Kidder, the out hit, the block from Nightingale, and another block from Kidder. 4 straight.
Neither side hitting it particularly well here in this third set. Beth Mullins along with Kurtz Karai. That's probably because the block has been pretty darn good. 13 blocks for UCLA, 9.5 for Illinois. Birch dug up by Lainey Guerra.
Great up by Guerra. Returning the favor that Beltran's been giving UCLA. That is really UCLA's forte when they are serving the ball, is putting up a pretty good block. They're blocking way better than their season average, but more importantly, creating an opportunity on defense, and then Kidder and Love swinging for the point.
4th kill of this set for Kidder, and a 5-0 run for UCLA. And again, another block on McMahon. They'll go back to the big girl. Van Orden, quick to Nightingale. Ward out of the back. Van Orden tried to dump. That was stuffed, and ricochets back over. Kidder, Ward got it, and Nightingale puts it away.
Kidder by Zoe Nightingale. Point UCLA.
6 unanswered for the Bruins. Larson looks to Barch.
Oh, great up by Reeves.
Chance for Illinois. Barch tips, and the net violation by Nightingale.
And I like what Illinois did there. They ran Michelle Barch to a little different spot on the court after Reeves made that phenomenal defensive play, chasing it down over by her bench. Finally, Illinois back in the scoring after giving up 6 unanswered points.
They've done pretty well tonight on Rachel Feldman's serve. Kidder missed it. Point Illinois.
Feldman scoring again. She got them going late in set number 2 also.
Illinois was scouting one of her club teammates, and the coaching staff said, hey, who's she? Discovered Feldman, the senior from Normal, Illinois. She walked on, has since garnered a scholarship. Kidder finds the hole.
UCLA. In for the Bruins is Tabby Love.
Now Tabby Love comes on in front, so the size advantage now moves to the UCLA side of the net with McMahon going out for Illinois. Birch. Van Orden goes to Love over that block. Point UCLA.
UCLA doing a nice job of slowing that potent attack of Illinois down. They let Kidder serve once, but now they're going for more defense. So bringing in, as they often do, Meg Norton in the backcourt for Kidder, just giving her a little spell. Her offensive numbers down a bit, trying to get her refreshed.
Barch with the kill. Point Illinois, 13 now for Michelle Barch. Kidder's got 14, the match high right now. Van Orden dumps it over. Middle was not up, waiting.
This is almost the only choice that Van Orden has here, but look, no blocker in front of her. Illinois got to figure out its responsibilities a little better, because if a blocker gets up, they have a big advantage on Van Orden.
4 kills now for the setter. And kicked up by Garrett. With a Ward into the block. Back to Ward. Out. Point Illinois.
In for the Illini serving Jackie Wolf.
Jackie Wolf serving. Birch and Ward now a combined 24 kills. Tabby Love. Back outside to Ward. They want to get a run going again on the serve of Wolf.
Did you hear Ward calling for her that time? She was screaming, go, go, which is the type of set that is threads the needle down the line, just as we saw her do so often in the semifinals against USC.
Love drills it. Point UCLA. Love has championship tournament experience from her days at Minnesota. They played in the semis back in 2009. And now returning in a UCLA uniform, advancing to the finals. Ward bringing the heat.
Well, that's a nice answer to some serious heat from Love. Right back at you. Even neither libero could come up with those last 2 swings. Oh, that's close.
Reeves could just tip it over. Bump to Birch. Tabby Love over the block. Point Bruins. The national championship match inside the Alamo Dome. UCLA looking for its 4th NCAA title, its first in 2 decades. And Illinois, not just its first volleyball championship, but its first women's team title in school history. Colleen Ward trying to be the one to deliver it. Coming up big here in the 3rd. 6 kills now in this set alone. As we head to 25, got to win by 2.
UCLA was able to neutralize her early, but since then, set number 2, set number 3, Ward has been much more effective making better decisions on where she's swinging, away from the middles of UCLA.
Reeves, the sophomore from San Diego, whose mom played for the Bruins and was an assistant coach on the '91 championship team. Checking out the action. And a mother-daughter combo win titles. Back set. And the tip for Reeves. A couple kills in a row. Timeout called by Illinois.
Taking the helm for the Bruins.
Boy, how about that group back in the 90s? Holly McPeak and Natalie Williams and Elaine Youngs, Julie Bremner. Terrific Bruin teams of old. Illinois trying to start a tradition like that tonight with their first championship. Kidder. Beltran with a good reach. And Orden, the back set to Reeves. Back to Birch, drills it. Point Illinois.
That's a smart swing by Barch. Instead of going over the UCLA block, UCLA plays really good defense behind there. They know they have some short blockers, so they dig the ball that goes over, but not the one that goes through.
14 and 14, the kills for Barch and Ward tonight. Reeves beat the block, but Lurson was there. Miscommunication for Illinois. That'll set up Kidder. Beltran digs. Barch tip. Somebody was into the net, and it's on the UCLA side. Point Illinois.
Net violation. On UCLA point.
That was Reeves trying to get a little extra hang time. Gravity said not on this occasion, and we're even at 21 as UCLA calls the timeout. They only have one left. Illinois without a TO. UCLA in the regionals, they knocked out 4-time defending champion Penn State. Then they eliminated the top seed Texas Longhorns. In the semifinals, Illinois, even though SC was a 7 seed, a lot of folks thought they were the favorites to win it. And the Illini ended their run and have put themselves in a position to win. Set outside to Barch. Boy, she reached back for a little bit extra on that one.
And she continues to have her best success hitting it through the block of UCLA, in the seam between two blockers, through the hands, much more than over the top.
Illinois 3 points from the set. Reeves misfires, point Illinois. And Michael Seeley will use his last timeout. UCLA in the last couple of sets has reached 21st. They did not hang on to the lead in the second set, and now it's slipping away again in the third, as Illinois has shown tremendous resiliency. The trip for the Illini, they cruised through the first weekend and then had to go down to Gainesville. They beat Ohio State and then won on Florida's home court. And a huge night for the Florida transfer, Colleen Ward, and then that epic match, the instant classic in the semis against SC.
And in that epic match, we saw the resiliency of Florida. They were down in a critical set number 3, 22-19, came storming back, scored out that one. They've done it in set number 2 here. Really have given opponents problems late in those sets, just when the opponents thought they had to put it away.
The best season in school history. They reached #1 for the first time. They were 20-0, the last team to lose this year. They got a sweep of Penn State in the regular season, and now here they are in their first championship match. It's their homegrown talent, including Michelle Barch leading the way, the senior out of Maryville, Illinois. The Big Ten Freshman of the Year in her rookie season. Then all Big Ten honors, on to All-America honors.
And they have Barch at the net and 6'6" McMahon at the net. This is one of those rotations. Illinois is scoring points best off its serve.
Beltran serves. Van Orden, look at a Kidder. UCLA goes back to Kidder, blocked by McMahon. Van Orden, quick to the middle, Nightingale got it. Back within one.
Van Orden had to find another target to go to. Kidder's been neutralized pretty extensively outside, hitting just about .080 right now. Started the match hot and cooled off considerably since with the strong block of Illinois in front of her.
Barch gets Illinois a set point.
Returning for UCLA is Warren Van In for Illinois, serving Rachel Lippman.
Feldman serves. Looking at Barch to end it. Rip it cross court. Kidder, stuffed. Back to Kidder. And down. Big swing from Kidder. Takes care of one set point. Here's another one.
Back to serve Rachel Kidder.
Wilson, the slide behind. An opportunity for UCLA and Tabby Love. They fight off 2 set points and draw even.
The last set they tried to do the same thing, but Illinois very solid in controlling that serve and putting it down for the point. That time UCLA coming up with a huge defensive play.
We'll need some extra time here. Got to win by 2 to take the set. Barch.
Nice play by Nightingale to get low out of the net there.
We'll go back to Barch again. Van Orden somehow got it to Love. And now it's set point Bruins.
Maybe Colleen Ward out of the back row or back out to Barch against the smaller block of UCLA. No.
Into the net, and the Bruins rally. And they take set number 3, fighting off a pair of set points to do it.
A surprising choice here, going behind the setter, going to Aaron Johnson, and having no success for Illinois, letting UCLA back into this.
Taking the angle, our Home Depot coaching clinic, and there is the blocking advantage for the smaller Bruin side. Kidder with 15 kills, Tabby Love with 10 to lead UCLA. Barch has 17, Ward with 14 for Illinois. And the kill by Sarah Sage, so a senior middle blocker making her first appearance here in the finals.
And the other thing that's surprising me is just all of these runs. One team is bleeding points near the end of that set number 3. UCLA was up 21-19, then Illinois scored 5 in the next 6, but then UCLA scoring the last 4 to finish it out. One team bleeding, then the other, and the bleed continues for Illinois.
Fighting Illini will have to win the last 2 sets to take home their first championship trophy in their first appearance in the final. For these UCLA Bruins, well, none of the current players have been here before, but it's one of the most tradition-rich volleyball programs in the country. They are looking for a 4th championship, the first in 20 years. And really an opportunity to take the West Coast back on top. The championship has been residing in State College, Pennsylvania for the last 4 years. And a Pac-12 school has not won it since it was last played here in the Alamo Dome in 2005 when the Washington Huskies brought it home. And Michael Sealy trying to become the first on the women's side to win it as a player and as a coach. He was a part of the '93 National Championship men's team. Off the block, point Illinois. 18 kills now for Birch. It was a UCLA team that was in some dire straits at the end of the regular season. Certainly, we're not anticipating a finish like this. They lost 3 of their last 5 matches, Point Bruins. And then Michael Sealy called on Sue Enquist, their legendary softball coach, to come talk to the team, and that was a big turning point for them.
A lot of them said it was a life-changing experience, and just the attitude that they took going into the postseason. It was not anymore about me. It was all about them and adding up to more than the sum of their parts. Since then, they've been playing more for each other. Had this great run.
Enquist was a part of 11 national championships. Sealy said it was like lightning in a bottle. She shows up at a team meeting and reminded the players that the playoffs are not about being perfect. You manage your failures and you recover quickly. And we've seen not only the Bruins, but Illinois do a little bit of that tonight as well.
And in a sense, this game is all about failure. It takes a whole team to succeed on a play. You've got to pass, you've got to set, you've got to swing. Everybody's got to do their job. But you're totally exposed when you serve the ball out of bounds like that, or you shank a pass. Then that 9th serving error for Illinois. But those errors add up to points for the other team.
Karch, that's 9 free points, and we've had 3 sets all decided by 2 points apiece. So I'm not a mathematician, but that's not good for Illinois.
Especially when the margins are as thin as they are in this particular match. You hate to give up any, and Illinois has got to be happy they went on that huge run in set number 2, or this is over.
A 12-3 run to finish that second set.
They were down 20-13. Yep. It looked like it was going to be 2-0. Now Illinois bleeding points again. But the way this has been going, expect them to come right back and score 5 in a row and tie it up.
Timeout after the ace from UCLA. One of those rarities where there are actually more opportunities and more money on the women's side of the sport than on the men's side.
Yep, only about 20, just over 20 Division I programs for the men versus almost 340 for the women.
Point Illinois.
Into the Illini and serving Rachel Feldman.
Rachel Feldman on the serve.
Well, this is just about the time Illinois comes storming back. Feldman comes in, she serves effectively. See if she can break down the passing game of UCLA as she's been able to do earlier in this match. Not that time.
Down the line for Rachel Kidder, 8-3 Bruins. 18 kills now for Kidder. Strong serve, that's going to set up UCLA. Van Orden, look at it, Tabby Love. Beltran brings it up. Birch, strong on the swing, point UCLA.
Well, Birch has been making a lot of good choices. That wasn't necessarily one of them. A little off the net, not a great set, trying to make something out of nothing. And you already talked about it, Beth. You don't want to give up freebies.
Nightingale didn't quite get all of it. Goes up to try and push it across and into the net by the freshman. Point Illinois. Reminder to stick around after the match. Join us on ESPN3 to see the trophy presentation and the award ceremony at the conclusion of our NCAA volleyball championship. Illinois' got to take the fourth and then win in a fifth set, which is what they did against USC, winning that thrilling 5-setter on Thursday in the semis.
Into the road lineup is Sarah Sage. Back to serve, Lainey Guerra.
Lainey Guerra back to serve. Had a couple of older sisters that played collegiately at Fresno State. Used to follow them around to the court all the time. Ward tees off. Point Illinois.
Point Illinois. In for the Fighting Illini, Anna Dorn.
15 now for Ward,
who also came out with a pretty slow start, but got Illinois going in that second set with her blocking and her swinging in transition.
Kill by Sarah Sage. Point UCLA.
Point UCLA for Sage, getting some more time here in the fourth set.
But they think of her as a little bit more of an offensive threat. Of course, a little more experience as a senior. Good time to have more of that on the court. Nice up by Guerra.
Couldn't connect into the middle, so they'll go outside to Love. Point Bruins. This is the rotation where they've got the size advantage with the 6'5" Love in and Illinois' 6'6" McMahon out. Tabby Love has 11 kills tonight. Back row Barch up there solo. Sage, but it goes wide. Point Illinois. 20 kills for Barch, second match in a row that she's reached that number.
And she's been pretty effective for them out of the back row. When they get in trouble, I would definitely think about getting the ball to her more often.
10th service error of the match.
Into the road lineup is Rachel Kidder. In the serve,
you only need 3 sets to win. They've almost given a half of one to UCLA in those 10 errors.
UCLA does not have a service error tonight. Kidder tried to tip that one back over. Point Illinois.
Serving is Colleen Ward.
Colleen Ward to serve. Van Orton, Kidder.
The play before, Van Orden and Kidder had a bad connection. Kidder couldn't even get the ball over the net. That time it was perfect. They kept it in the fast tempo that they want to run just to create space between the block for Kidder to attack.
Over to Barch. Pushes that one to the deep corner. Point Illinois.
In for the Illini, Aaron Johnson. Back to serve, Jennifer Beltran.
Beltran serving.
Well, it looks like Illinois wants to put UCLA just where UCLA wants to be and then come storming back like they did in set number 2. If they're going to, and it started with plays like that in the second set, but if they're going to get their first title ever in their first championship game ever, they're going to have to start making exceptional plays like that. One-on-one block by Barch. She's been making it happen offensively. Now it's their turn, and they have McMahon at the net. Also strong blocker on the other side of the net. They're in good shape blocking-wise to create opportunities.
Kidder off the block and out. Point UCLA.
Serving for the Bruins.
20 kills now for Kidder. Kelly Reeves. Down to dig that up. Back outside to Kidder. Turned away by the block. Kidder's going to get another swing. Diving play by Ward. Now McMahon in transition. Look at a Barch. Got it.
Kill by Michelle Barch, Point, Illinois.
That's twice Todorovic has gotten beaten in the backcourt by the tip of Barch. Smart choices by Barch to mix up her pace. Tip at the various spots on the court. UCLA was controlling her with their block, so she goes off speed.
Back set Nightingale. Point UCLA.
And that's a good choice too. Look, Nightingale left one-on-one. Illinois was never planning on putting a second blocker in front of her. And UCLA, some nights they get a lot of production out of her, others no. But tonight that'll be key for them down the stretch.
How about a career high 10 blocks along with 7 kills and an ace for Kidder. And the Bruins getting close.
Trying to end that 20-year drought between titles.
The 9 seed in the tournament after stumbling badly at the end of the regular season. Playing so poorly, in fact, that they changed from a 5-1 to a 6-2 offense. Things were looking so grim. And then they started the NCAA tournament and changed back. And they've been rolling along ever since. Just one trip to the semifinals in the last couple of decades before this year. It's been a long time. And Michael Seeley, a UCLA guy in his second season. Trying to become the first player coach on the women's side to get a title. Sliding behind Johnson. Love just missed it wide. Point Illinois.
Seeley was saying to the team yesterday, do you believe it? The last game of the season is happening tomorrow, and we get to play it. And he's still pinching himself. He's really good at keeping his team loose.
By Beltran. Another block for UCLA. Well, Michael Seeley knows what it means to wear that jersey and to be in these types of situations. Nightingale having a career evening. We asked him about it, is there any pressure involved? He said, it's such an honor to come to UCLA and play. And the first time you put that jersey on, it's like, all right, you're here, now go win us a title. Or in his words, here's your sword, go slay the dragon.
And anything less, no title, then it wasn't a successful season. 5 points away from more than a successful season for the Bruins. Good read by Guerra.
Even when it goes wrong, it goes right for UCLA. 4 points from the national championship. Ward can't finish outside the Love. She does. 1991, the last NCAA championship for the Bruins. Trying to get their 4th NCAA title. Illinois gets the kill.
Into the line as Anna Dorn. Into serve, Jackie Wolf.
huge trouble at the end of the third set. They fought off 2 set points, went on a 4-0 run to win it, to set themselves up here in the fourth. Love rejected. Can Illinois do it again?
Stranger things have happened.
Another service error for Illinois. Their 11th of the match, and the Bruins are 2 points away from the championship. Lurson hits the kill. Point Illinois. Got some perspiration on the floor on the UCLA side. And take care of that as Lurson waits to serve.
And this is where UCLA had all this trouble in set number 2. They just could not handle the serve of Illinois anymore. Illinois needs to put them in trouble with this one, and does a little. Creates a point scoring opportunity.
Colleen Ward got another one. To Sage. Championship point, UCLA. They've got 9 attempts at it. Colleen Ward with the tip, brought up by Van Orden. Rachel Kidder takes a swing at it. Back to Colleen Ward. Got it. Another championship point for the Bruins.
Ward will serve for the Illini.
Van Orden to the middle. A 2-decade drought is done, and the Bruins are back on top.
Please stay on your seats as the runner-up and championship award ceremony will take place shortly.
A 4th NCAA title for UCLA, and their first since 1991. And Michael Sealy has won a championship as a player and a coach in Westwood. And it's championship number 108 for the UCLA athletic department.